What's up, guys? This is Nick from Arch City Poker, and in today's video, I'm going to be continuing the How to Beat Live Low Stakes Poker series. With today's topic covering, I'm going to title it Stop Berating Players at the Table. I actually wrote an article on this very topic with, I think, this very title on my website. And the reason this came to me is there was a few instances today where this happened, and players have it all wrong about how to treat other players at the table and about letting their egos get in the way of what the end goal is and the reason that they're even in a poker room playing poker in the first place. So I just want to start off by saying that when a player sits down at the table with their money, we need to keep in mind that it's their right to use the money as they please. And if they want to flat a 5 big blind raise with 7 deuce, that's in their right. And it sucks when that type of player's in there with a hand that it doesn't make sense for them to be in there with, and they beat you. But you want them to make that call, and you want them in the hand with that hand. And I think a lot of players lose sight of this. They lose sight of the fact that good players need bad players to win sometimes, and they need them to win sometimes for the fact that that's the only way that poker is going to be, quite profitable for those good players long term. So I think the next time that you guys take a bad beat from a player that, he played a hand really poorly, he should have never been in the hand, maybe just take a breath and think to yourself, this guy, maybe he doesn't know better, maybe he does, but it's his right to use the money as he pleases. And as much as it sucks, you probably just want to say good hand. And really, a lot of times, just kind of be like, to be honest, like, I'll just be like, hey, nice hand, or like, nice catch. And, you try to have some fun with it as much as it sucks, because you want them making those plays as often as possible. The problem, uh, you know, besides just looking like a total asshole when you berate somebody at the table, it's not good for your image. It's not good for the table overall. But why would you ever want to let the other players at the table know that they're doing something wrong? And that might sound like disingenuous, but the whole point of poker is that you're trying to outsmart your opponents. You're trying to outplay them. Why would you ever want to? It's a strategic game. Why would you ever want to give them help with their strategy? Now, I know you guys say, like, well, Nick, you do that with this very channel. And players that have played with me live before have seen me, a player will ask me something and I'll answer them truthfully and I'll help them at the table if they ask me. It's different for me, guys, because this is what I do. And coaching and helping players get better is part of my career. And now I'm not going to sit there and go out of my way to point out a mistake to a player like that they make. But if they ask me, or if it's like a regular and they ask me something, or they ask me how I would play a hand, I'll tell them, because I think at the end of the day, we are all there in some way or other to have fun. And for a lot of guys, it's about escaping the daily pressures of their life, maybe. It's a way for them to release and escape. And so I think that we're all kind of in the same boat at the end of the day. And we're all there maybe for different primary reasons, but I think that it's just not right for me to sit there and be like, you know what, I'm not going to tell you how I would play that. Or, you know what, like, F you, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to tell you if this was a mistake or not just because I want that edge over you. I'm not worried about that. And I do want to help players get better. And that's really the primary reason for this channel, even really to begin with. Yes, do I want to monetize it and, like, stream revenue? Sure. I mean, I need to pay bills too, but I think that we just need to keep in mind that there's no sense in berating a player at the table. And there's multiple reasons for it, as I just stated. So I think we need to keep that in mind. Something else that this player today at my table, I heard him complaining that he wasn't getting action. How dare he not get action when he flops a boat or turns quads or something, and just complaining about that over and over. And the biggest thing about that, guys, is that when I hear players complaining about a lack of action at the table, there's two things that come to my mind automatically. One, if there's multiple games running in the room, you are allowed to request a table change. That is not against the rules. Every room in the country pretty much allows you to change tables if you want. So if your game is, not action filled and your image is really poor, and or both type of thing, request a table change. It's not that hard. Secondly, it's funny how players will complain at the table about a lack of action, but then on the flip side, if there's a lot of action and players are playing terribly, and then the player that's complaining gets sucked out on, well, then it's the player's playing poorly, and he should never be in there with that hand. Well, the thing is, guys, if there's a lack of action at the table, that means that more likely than not, players are playing correctly pre-flop. And players are playing tighter, which they should be in a full ring game. So when I hear players complain about a lack of action, that it doesn't tilt me, but it's just hilarious to me that they're going to sit there and really complain about that when A, there is an opportunity for them to change tables, and B, how do you want it? Do you want players to play correctly, or do you not want them to play correctly? You can't really have it like it's, there's going to be positives and negatives both ways. So next time you start having these thoughts in your mind, if you're the type of player that does lash out, and not lash out, but maybe says these things out loud, has a little bit of maybe like not an emotional blow up, but yeah, you just maybe say these things out loud, you complain out loud. Maybe think about these things. None of this stuff is good for your image. It's not good for the current table and game that you're at. Keep that all in mind. And I think that you'll be a lot better off mentally. And I like to talk about the mental part of the game a lot. I think it's a very understated part of the game. So, yeah, you'll be better off mentally. Keep these things in mind. Don't berate players. Don't complain about a lack of action or a player playing terribly. This is all part of the game. And you guys got to learn how to weather it. And it'll make you a better player in the long run. So if you guys have any comments or questions, I know this wasn't a strategic video by any means, but the mental and emotional types of videos, these are very important. These are some of the most important videos that you guys will watch. So yes, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Until next time, this is Nick from Arch City Poker. Take care.